Thank you, Mr. Kapoor. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. I just wanted to make sure we have a live and responsive audience. Change is constant. This is my mantra that I've been living for last whatever number of years. If I tell you, it may show my age. Uh, Change is constant, but growth is optional. If anybody realizes what happened in 2009, that was a massive change. And that change is now coming back to the earlier years. Now, garment industry, what is it? Cut, sew, and deliver. What are the challenges? I don't understand. Every country around the world built their economies on textile industry. Go back in the history. But there are challenges which are just too huge, especially in the global manufacturing scenario. Now, I can list down all of them, but it all starts from a sample, from a product, from an approval. And if you don't have it, you can't cut and sew. You can't go forward. Multi-languages, multi-countries, multi everywhere, we have a problem. PDMs. I was in China. I saw a 17-page tech pack on a PDM, but nobody spoke English. So on the side, the margin, one English-speaking translator, 21-year-old, had translated the whole 17 pages. So the entire margin became the whole tech pack. Well, I'm going to have a little video to explain what I understand as, oh, I'm sorry. Is there a, does it go? The sound here? All right.
Mayday, mayday. Hello, can you hear us? Can you?
I'm going to have to start this all over again. I'm sorry.
Das hier ist mein Sektor. Das hier ist das wichtigste Gerät des Küstenwächters. Das Gerät. Überlebensradar.
Mayday, mayday. Hello, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you? Over. We are sinking. We are sinking.
Hello? This is the German Coast Guard.
We are sinking. We're sinking.
What are you thinking about?
All right, so my point exactly. The challenges faced by the entire industry are too numerous. I'm going to go very fast on these ones. Risks for early buying. We don't have any one season anymore, 4 seasons anymore. Every day is a new development. The iterations, the product development and approval cycle is about 60% as per the studies done by TC Square in the United States. Well, we can ship faster, we can cut faster, we can sew faster. Sure, we can do all of those things. We can ship faster by air shipping it, take away all my profits away. We can overtime work and compromise on my quality. We can do all those things, but the norm is not going to be there. So I do have an opportunity of 60% of the cycle time to take care of my reduction or increase my chances of survival. The availability of technology is there. 85% of the apparel industry does not work with any CAD systems. 85%. And those who do, they are in the developed countries who have already moved that workforce or that chore to these countries. 15 years ago, when we came in here in this country, there were 5 customers of mine. First 5, Orient Craft was one of them, by the way. Vijay Agrawal said very clearly, he said, well, you brought digital pattern making to this country, although companies like Gerber and Lecter were here. Everybody uses the technology to digitize the pattern, and they call it, we are making digital technology. Well, I'm sorry, we are changing that one customer at a time, and we are the one who brought digital pattern making in Sri Lanka. Till 7 years ago, everybody who had all these technologies were still making patterns by hand. Everybody's looking at only one cycle, product development. How do I shorten it? This is a big challenge. Well, the trends have been going on. Liz Claiborne's CEO decided one day to close up the entire entire product development in Secaucus, Jersey. Laid off 158 patent makers, had about $7 million worth of Gerber equipment, shut it down. His thing was, I'm going to have a check and a sketch, and you do it, Mr. Vendor. Or I'll give you a photo, you make a proto. And we decided we're going to go into package buying. And now comes a new trend. We don't want those designers also because their emerging countries have all those. So why don't we just get the designed and developed and delivered, and we will do the merchandising? Well, here's an opportunity. Here's an opportunity to become a brand, to establish yourself a brand today. Remember, you heard it here. The branding starts here in your own mind if you're ready. If you're willing to think outside of the box, you can be a brand. Italy decided they are going to stay in the fashion business. 30 years ago, every human being they could replace, they did with a machine, with an automation. The highest number of automation systems, technologies, even homemade technologies which are not even available commercially can be seen in Italy. Labor will continue to go up, prices will continue to go down. You think this business is competitive, look at automotive industry. If you really want to benchmark, don't look at the competitor of yours as your benchmark. Go benchmark somebody else who really is an innovator. Today, the only global competitive industry is automotive. Look at $20,000 car market. It's huge, crowded market, and yet everybody has 4 wheels, 1 steering, one extra, and they all have to show why their car is the right one. You know what? When they're manufacturing an automobile, there's 35 sub-assemblies. There's about 51 countries may be involved in supplying the parts, yet there's only 2 hours of working process. 2 hours. When the production is finished, there is no leftover steering wheel or a tire or a seat. Not even a washer. That's what you call planning. All that is planning. You want to get there? Go take a look at your warehouse, the leftover inventories. That was your profit. If somebody told you, I'm going to need 1 yard, and it's going to cost $1 a yard, and we need to make 100,000 garments, well, great. We go out and buy $100,000 worth of inventory, fabric. And then comes a great marker maker for production. He makes it for 0.8 yard. He saved you 20,000 yards. Now, question from all of you. Will you reward the person who saved you $20,000, or will you fire the person who made you buy extra $20,000 worth of inventory? Answer, please. Fire him. Fire and reward, both, yes. I need to buy what I need, and I need to use what I bought. That would be the way to do this business. Everybody's expecting. This is all the way from consumer, retailer, the entire chain. They want better quality, they want consistency, they want better service, they want selection, they want convenience, and yet they don't want to pay extra price. They want to have a shorter time, efforts, of course, the risk. There is no market anymore. You know, in the United States, we used to think, oh, this is a Texan market, so the sizes will be different. In New York, we sell this, but in Los Angeles, we're going to be selling that. No more. There's so much integration of people, so much migration, intermigration, that we really have to think this as an entire world. What is it happening out there? If you look around, everybody is becoming impatient. You look around in India. In India, a lot of areas have such fast implementation of technology because people want it now. So many companies took advantage. FedEx is one of them. Why is it the Postal Service in the US, which used to deliver even on Saturdays, is ready to go bankrupt? Well, there are competitors out there. Well, I'm going to ask one small question again. What is the largest camera manufacturer's name? One person said, and that person is right, Nokia. Nokia is the largest camera phone company. They have even just applied for patents, which is really going to change the entire paradigm. So nobody should take things for granted. Well, what's the best software company to the apparel software? 4 years in a row. All over the world. There are 154 software companies, and this magazine called Apparel, they do the survey from the users. Well, guess what? Took a tech. Even we didn't know. Now we have to stay number one. So one of these conferences. So you want to control? You want to control? You need to embrace new technologies. You need to think, what does internet do? There is nobody looking at yellow pages. They're Googling it. There are e-kiosks. The things are going wireless. The whole city of San Francisco today is wireless. Who would have thought that? RFID, we heard about it. Many, many, many applications for that. Even starting the car, or in the garment industry, we've got now one of our customers. By the way, we do make a lot of RFID equipment. I'm not here to talk about what we do. I'm here to talk about brands. So please visit our website. Of course, before you decide, you really have to focus. What do you want to do? Who is your customer? Global land rush still continues. If you don't believe it, look around. The American retailers, the European retailers are looking at new markets. Walmart in China, who would have thought? American Apparel manufacturing in USA, in Los Angeles, $500 million worth of goods. And they are the one who are shipping out of the United States $200 million worth of merchandise. And guess to which countries? Even China. How do you like that? Made in USA being sold in China, and people are buying. There are a lot of trials, hit and miss methods going on right now, because there is a lot of state of flux in the industry. There are also a lot of opportunities. Question now is, are you part of the solution or part of the problem? I hope you understand where it's going in the retail end. Everybody is in the confusion. The brands, the retailers are trying to become brands by either purchasing designer names or establishing themselves as a brand. Till about 5 years ago, most of these retailers had about 40% of what we call private label business. They would design wherever a risk factor was almost zero for basics. Let the brands come in and give the fashion and let them take the risk by having markdown money and return policies and payment terms and so on. But they realize that the brands are trying to be retailers. So now the retailers are threatened because, hey, let's buy some brands. George in UK selling to Walmart. Can you imagine how many brands, major brands like Massimo, selling to Target? So this story goes on. JCPenney buying Bizu Bizu, the #1 brand in California. Everybody is making a change. That's how I started out. It is really what we are experiencing on a daily basis. The retailers are becoming merchandisers, and the brand managers. How many of you have bought Dell computer? All right, good show of hands. How many of you know Dell computers? Oh, at least everybody knows. Brand. IBM started out a PC. The CEO, unfortunately, has passed away. He must be rolling in his grave when a 31-year-old multi-billionaire took the advantages by fast delivery, quick service, guaranteed results, and made himself a multi-billion-dollar company. Opportunities are always there. You think age has anything to play with with technologies, go to Europe. Go see what's going on. Customers call the shots. There are smart technologies available. There are hundreds and hundreds of smart technologies available. And the retailers are looking at what is it that we need to do. They are trying to reinvent themselves by getting smarter tools. They need to optimize. They need to know who is buying, what are they buying, where are they selling to, instead of just putting it on the shelves. We're buying smaller quantities, we're buying more styles, and we're replenishing them as quickly as possible. They do understand a buyer has come in, I have an opportunity to sell. If the buyer thinks, even thinks, I can come back next week, I must make myself in such a situation that the buyer doesn't have an opportunity to buy that, what they saw last week. That's Zara. That's Costco, if anybody understands Costco's business model. Why? Because the thrill of buying, an experience of shopping, and value for money has to be put together in one shot. And that's what retailers are trying to reinvent. They're also trying to track their SKUs with the same precision that they have to now, they're tracking their customers with the same precision as their SKUs were. I need to know who is my customer by creating my own fit, by creating the colors. Who is my customer? Where do they buy? Consumer data. What is their fit? I have one customer in India. My hat's off to them. W, brand W, anybody heard of W? Yeah, good, okay. They understood very well that they don't know the fit for India. So this week, they sent 6 fit models in 6 different sizes to Los Angeles, who are going to be body scanned and made an avatars out of them, and then so that they can create customized clothing for all, rather than applying grade rules. If that was the case, well, we would all be laughing at our fit. Unfortunately, I am a perfect example. I'm 5 feet 4 inches tall. 25 years ago, I used to wear size small. Today, I'm size extra large. But I'm still 5 feet 4 inches tall. Except my clothes didn't grow the same way, because the manufacturers, the brand, didn't understand how my body changed. By taking one sample size and applying the exponential grade rules, well, that would be the same principle as the goddess-like body is size 7, size 15 should also be a goddess-like body, just a little larger. But we all know it didn't happen like that. So what are we doing to understand? The retailers are paying a lot more attention. I'm going to share something with you. Innovation, allow me for 2 minutes, I'm sorry, on this one. Staiku. Till about 3 weeks ago, I couldn't talk about it. The patents were still pending for applications. We're the first company in the world to be able to offer online virtual fitting rooms. And already we have 5 different retailers who signed up for beta test sites. It's based on technology. We are co-developers with Autodesk, which is the largest 3D technology. Anybody who's seen Avatar, they would know what 3D technology is. Our systems are based on that technology with our physics of fabrics. I'm going to go into new assets. We used to think I have very large buildings, have a lot of inventory. Hey, I got all these buildings and I got all this equipment. You don't have an order, you can't make it. Today, if you're not a brand, nobody wants you. If you don't have good people, you can't take anything, you can't do anything with the brand. And of course, if we don't have great relationships, whether it's consumer, customer, supplier, buyer, it's a relational business, it's not a transactional business. And of course, all the decision making is based on information, IT, lack of it. Very quickly, 2 innovators at 3 weeks ago, some people I see here who were the Magic Show in Las Vegas 4 weeks ago. There were 12,000 brands and companies showing to various retailers. Yet 2 companies stood out. There were about 7 of them were showing their lines digitally on large screen TVs and giving the thumb drives. Hey, here's my 600 samples. Put it in your computer rather than lugging the samples with you. All colorways, everything you can see exactly how the garment is going to look like. And they also had physical garments to show with a 0 tolerance between what they saw versus what they got. I met Mr. Rakesh Ved, and he got so excited. He said, next one, I want you to put 4 screens here. Well, make a long story short, already 3 weeks later, we already are setting up a design lab for him in New Delhi. People are being trained, same people who he never thought could really get on the computers, okay? There's another one here, company is called Green Apple, making yoga clothing, and it's a technical clothing, so they really need to know how it fits, really. How does it how does it affects, because it's a compression bra inside, it's a technical garment with technical fabrics. So the girl is jogging, so the bust is not moving up and down. They want to see all this in development, so the systems are able to show that. Colors show red where it is tight or touching the body and the intensity. Of course, once it's done, we can go in and change the colorways, change the embroideries, change the things without having to do one more sample because designer wants to see it in this color or in this stitch or in this format and so on. But there's a 0 tolerance versus what you see against what you're going to get. Okay, there are quite a few companies in Sri Lanka who took the initiative because they understood that the problem is they have to meet that delivery date. The day they get the tech back, the process started. But on the top it says in store by such and such date, and the only way they're going to do it is by delivering on time. If they don't, rest everything is history. I'm very happy to tell you, Dr. Beda was there, about 80% of the industry in Sri Lanka now makes patents on Tugatech. Most of them use 3D technologies. Their buyers may not know, but they do it internally. Many of our customers really thrived and made us part of their family. I have a home now in Sri Lanka. Most of these customers are my friends. We go and attend their weddings, their children's weddings, and be involved with them in their personal lives, because they understand that we've added value to their business. If we could be of any assistance to you guys, we do have an office in Delhi also. Thank you all.